Hello, hello.
Hey,
It worked this
gosh.
time. No
Hold on a
problem.
second.
Are you there? Good to see you, Brian.
I am, but all of a sudden my audio just went crazy.
Of course it did. That's how we roll. I mean, I had no problems
Okay.
on my end, and I was like,
No, it's
well,
fine. I got a phone call right as we went live, so it was really perfectly timed that I
amazing.
lost all my audio. But we're live.
We're
Hello,
good.
how are
We're
you?
back. Happy Thursday this time. Doing a little special Thursday show. On a crazy coming off of a crazy few days, you know, in the market. Again,
We
in
survived.
time, this won't matter, but riding that roller coaster, kind of really feeling it this week.
It was a mental mind game. Or you're like, is it over for now? Is it not? Thankfully, things have recovered okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully, people didn't have crazy leverage and get liquidated. But I think we're in a risky market, and people play games. But thankfully, things seem to be stabilizing. People are talking about art a lot, and there's a lot of cool things going on, and I'm excited for our guest today because he's got one of the most ambitious rollouts of a drop I've seen maybe in the entire time I've been in the space.
Seriously, yeah, and consistently he's doing things like this, right? And he keeps on upping the ante. So our guest today is an incredibly talented photographer, but that is like, just to say that is an understatement, right? The man is an entrepreneur. He is a community leader. He's a connector. He is incredibly talented dude. Let's bring to the show. Welcome everybody, Dave Krugman. Hello.
Hey.
One day I'll get a soundboard. I promise. In like a year.
Can I have some like car revving engine noises?
That was
room.
That's what we should have had. Damn. Good times, man.
Missed opportunities, guys. But I'm glad to be here. It's okay.
Not just.
How you doing?
You look like you're in a good spot there. Is that
we're coming to you live and direct from the All Ships house?
Ooh.
It's been really fun. We just had a big party with Lens Protocol last night. They're one of our big partners for the house, and it was amazing. Did a full raw bar, had wine and beer on tap, and maybe like 30-40 people here, just everybody getting together. And the goal with this house is to kind of recreate the idea of like artist salons, like the Paris salons, just mixing people together, cross-pollinating, just providing a space for people to get together and get creative and collide like atoms and form new molecules. So it's been a real joy this summer.
Yeah, it's really great. I've had the pleasure of going, and like you said, I've gotten to meet and talk to people in the space that I've never met in real life there, and it was just a wonderful spot to have kind of conversations that aren't at a convention and moving around. It's very chill and the vibes are immaculate, as they say.
Truly.
It looks great, man. And it's got to be like an incredibly gratifying experience, right? You've been working for the last almost 4 years now or so on building All Ships out as a community online, but now becoming, and you've had physical events in the past, but to have like your own space to call like a home base, it's got to feel really great.
Yeah, it actually just it empowers us to do more, because we can iterate and get better, and there's something very special about being able to like repeat things in the same environment. Like every party we've done has been better than the one before. And the feedback we're getting is just so encouraging. And I think people were really hungry for this type of thing. I think after COVID, and then, it took a while for us to get our in real life communities back. And I think people are really hungry to just like put their phones down and come break bread together. And so just providing a space for people to do that and working with brands in order to help fund that stuff it's been a lifetime dream come true. So hope to have you both here again soon.
Yeah. No, that's wonderful. Is that the kind of thing that you have like events scheduled, or you're just kind of like as it comes up, or winging it and just making things happen? Like
it's a bit of both. So I think we do have events booked out through the entirety of our residency here. But along the way, we also just like have casual hangs and vibes, and we're actually inviting artists in to do residencies, and we're doing podcasts and video show like content and stuff like that here as well.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's just going to be like a always on kind of place. It's not a place that, you know, it's just open to the public, but we do a lot of public events, public facing events. So if people want to find out about those, they can join our All Ships Telegram, and that's where we're sharing that stuff.
Yeah,
Amazing.
that's awesome.
Well, you and Bryan teased it at the beginning of the show. As one of the busiest people that we know, you've been working your butt off for a while on a project, right? With partnering with Nifty Gateway Studios, and it's coming off of man, was it 2 years ago that you first put out this collection?
3
years ago. Holy cow! Okay,
2021.
Well, all right.
Drip Drop was 2022, and then Rolls was 2023, and then Drive Lap 2 is going to be our 2024.
So yeah, well, I want to dig into this new collection with Drive Lap 2, which and then the origins of it really were fascinating and really just a cool idea. And that's the other thing is, I think as far as creators go in the space, you're consistently doing something that is surprising and innovative with the drops that you're doing, and that, I mean, like Drip Drop just blew me away, and we can talk about that in a moment. But yeah, let's talk about this one, which is Drive Lap 2. I'm going to bring up a couple images from that new collection and let everybody take a look here. Gorgeous.
Oh, so just to be clear, these are the grails from Lap 1.
Right.
Yeah. So these aren't actually in Lap 2, but
have you shown Lap 2 yet, or are they all secret?
I've tweeted out some of that collection, but I have not made a formal post about it yet.
Cool.
But I have them all. I have all of them done, and they're ready to go. So they're really great. The Lap 2 is there's a lot of jumps in there.
So for anyone who's kind of like not familiar with the collection and the idea of the project, why don't you give a little like backstory on like what this is and like how you went about making this one?
100%. I'm trying to think of where to start because there's so many layers to this thing. But I think I'm going to start with the gamification aspect of this project, and then I'll move into describing like the cohesion of the collection, et cetera, et cetera. So I think the innovation of Drive that makes it an interesting project is that I kind of was thinking about blockchain itself as like a new layer to play in as an artist. And I was like, how do I use this technology in a way that's novel, in a way that creates a project that could not be created without blockchain? So the way I did it with this project is I withheld 20% of the supply. So I had a sale, and it did very well. I got really lucky. The timing was perfect, and it went viral, and people were fighting over these cars. But I decided to withhold 20% of the supply. And at the time, people were like, "Oh my God, like, what about this car? Can I buy this car?" And I'm like, no. The only way you can get that 20%, so it's 20 different trophy cars, and the only way that you can unlock those cars is you have to hold a Drive car, and then you have to take a photo in the style of Drive and post it when I do these races on the timeline. And so, we've been doing that for 3 years now. And it's kind of like using NFTs as an incentive mechanism to both inspire people to get creative and to participate in the craft of photography in the same way that I am. But also, incentivizes people to share the project and to generate attention around the project. So I get to continuously like re-inject attention into this project over the years. Like whenever like, oh, we haven't heard about Drive in a while, I can just spin up a race and then the whole timeline is talking about it again. And look, I mean, to be honest, this is an attention economy. I think most economies are attention economies, but in particular, our space is like, if you're not making noise on the timeline, like nobody's buying your art. And so this is a way for us to have a continual regeneration of attention around this project so that it can survive and be a project that, lives for many, many years and is not just like, fading off into the distance as we get further and further away from the original mint date. So we're continuing that tradition with Drive Lap 2. There's, more trophies. I always save my favorite like quirky cars for the trophy section. So we're going to do an auction and a sale, and then we're going to, continue with races for lap 2 and lap 1 as we push forward into the future. So that's kind of the mechanics of the project. I could also speak a bit about why cars and why I decided to do all this. And I'll just dip us briefly into evolutionary history. For tens of thousands of years, humans evolved for an environment in which it was very important to have good pattern recognition. And that's one of the reasons it's so satisfying for people to collect things. We don't have to really forage for food anymore, or, find stones to make tools with. But we still have that behavior. Like, we're still very satisfied by that type of behavior. So we're kind of collecting things in the same way that people used to collect seashells and collect, berries and edible plants and stuff like that. But we're doing it in this kind of like meta layer above everything in this abstract way. I mean, people collect everything, right? And so they're acting on that evolutionary instinct to have a satisfaction from identifying and collecting patterns. So I've been doing that as a photographer for my whole life, right? So I always am looking for different patterns and sets around, whether it's in nature or it's in more human-built spaces. And so when I was thinking about making a bigger NFT collection in 2021, I was very much like looking at all the sets I had already been creating and being like, oh, these would work great as collections on chain. And so I think I hit onto something with cars, because cars are also inherently collectible. Like, people are used to car culture. They're used to collecting cars, whether it's, toy cars, model cars, real cars. It's just something that is a very ingrained in like the American story. So it's just a very like natural thing to be collecting. And so I thought it was the perfect opportunity.
No, it makes sense. Go ahead, Bryan.
I mean, especially this project talking about the ingrained childhood aspect of cars. These are positioned just like a Hot Wheels car is on the package.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's built, this idea of collectibles mimics how we started collecting as kids.
Yeah. I couldn't have said it better myself. It's very intentional. I always had Hot Wheels cars and, race tracks and little micro machines. And there's just so many different ones that I had. But, as I started to become a photographer and to start looking at the world and categorize it into patterns and stuff like that, this is just one of the patterns that I started recognizing. And I decided it was a great place to start in terms of widening my collector base, because the goal for an artist is, the more collectors you have, the more invested advocates you have. And so if you have, if you're only selling one of ones, it's a very slow way to build up your network, right?
It's a really brilliant way.
Oh, sorry, I just lost my train of thought. But
no, go ahead.
Releasing a wider collection allows you to have more advocates and people that are out there, helping you spread the word about what you're building and what you're trying to build. And that's very, very important for an artist in any field, not just on blockchain.
Yeah, I think it's also really smart in terms of understanding the particular audience that you're speaking to in terms of collectibles, right? Because you're a photographer by trade, and you can photograph anything, right? But to intentionally hone in on just doing cars, or just doing and not being the car guy, but understanding the mechanics of what would someone want to collect, and in driving into a community, right? In terms of not just I collect Dave's photos, and sometimes it's landscapes and sometimes it's people and portraits, but I collect Dave's work in a series. And I think there's a lot to be said in terms of the intentionality behind that, and the thought process behind that. So and when you started taking these photos, so you were just drawn to this, right? This was, you correct me if I'm wrong, you didn't take these initially for this project.
No. So I'm going to leak a little alpha. So I have a secret Instagram account. It's called Secret Street. Okay.
Ooh.
You can even pull it up. It might be
Let's see.
Yeah.
Right. Secret Street.
Yeah. And so, okay, the biggest question I used to get, I built up hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram. I get a lot of questions about photography. The number one question I get is, what camera should I buy? They're like, I have $5,000 to my name. Here's my budget for a camera. What should I buy? I'm like, don't. Camera. I'm like, so anyway, the point being is that I would send them this account, Secret Street, and I wouldn't tell them it was me. And I would just be like, what do you think of this? What do you think of this guy's work? And they'd be like, oh, that's cool. And I would be like, well, that's me just with my phone. So like, why don't you go out with your phone? Why don't you learn the craft of photography, which is more about how you see the world than it is about the equipment you're using. And they'd be, oh, cool. And they'd feel encouraged to actually start their photographic journey before they went out and spent all this money. Because what happens is people go out and they buy an expensive camera. It's too complicated. They can't figure it out. They get frustrated, and then it collects dust and sits on a shelf, and they give up on photography. But if you just use your phone, everything's taken care of for you. It's an incredibly powerful tool, and it's such a great way to learn photography. It's actually easier to learn photography on a of course they didn't have you.
It's because I'm not logged in on my computer.
All
I'm
good,
only on my phone.
People can go look at it on their own for sure. But the point being is, one of the patterns I started collecting with my phone was these cars. So for, literally over a decade, I've been just, every time I see a car that fits this motif, which is like, there's room on both sides. There's something classic about the car. There's like always like a bit of character infused in these cars. So I've just been collecting them for years and years and years. And I've built up a collection of thousands of these cars. So, it was just good timing and realizing that, I've been collecting patterns my whole life. And then if people want to collect patterns on chain, like there's a really great, opportunity to do so. So it's everything worked out in a really serendipitous way with this collection. And I'm really happy about it.
Are you collecting these over the years? Was it anywhere you went, or were you staying in New York? A lot of it's obviously, going to be close to where you live because it's just convenient. But like, it looks like, are you going out and wherever you are, you're like, oh, there we go. There's a draft car.
So none of these shots were ever intentional. None of them are staged. None of them are set up. It's very much found things. And I also think it's really important that it's shot on iPhone, because one of the reasons that I first started Secret Street was to show how accessible this art form is to people, right? And now with Drive, I'm trying to show how accessible crypto art is to people. Not only am I encouraging people to go out and find these cars and photograph them in my style, but I'm also dedicated to the idea that this entire project was created just on mobile.
Wow. I should point out, I've been with Dave when he shoots these on iPhones. He's not just shooting base photos. He's tweaking some settings.
Well, I mean, he's a photographer. He's an artist. He's not, he's got some care too.
I will say though, I only use free apps for this project.
Yeah. So no, you showed me through the Apple app.
VSCO, and then I shoot it in the Apple app, and then I do some tone in VSCO.
I mean, as with any street photography, what I always adored about street photography is the way it captures a moment in time so beautifully, right? Because you've got things like Subway. In 20 years, you might be like, whoa, remember Subway was a thing? Or, you see this guy, this person's got a mask on. You're like, oh yeah, those are the times that we needed to, worry about that. So like, just also going back to places and revisiting, and then seeing how things have changed, the landscape, the graffiti. And I love a photo where there's just so much rich detail and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. These are packed. These are densely packed images. There's tons of little Easter eggs and fun things to look at. I mean, like if you scroll up a bit, down to the right, that green one. So this is a funny one, I think. There's a flat tire, like little.
This guy is not going anywhere.
Cool. There's like a little bit, like the thing that's cool about cars as like a scaffolding for stories is that like there's just something so like there's always a story with a car, right? Like cars are the way that we get around the world. and little dents and damage, or like what's in the car, or like where it's parked, or what's going on with the paint. Like you can project identity into these things in a way that I think is really compelling and interesting. And kind of going because of that, the promotion for Drive Lab 2, I think you showed one of the posters earlier. Yeah,
brilliant.
So I was like, how far can I take this bit? Like, I was like, where's the limit on like what I can do for marketing? And I don't think we've found the bottom or like the top of like where we can go with this. And so I'm just like so excited. Like we did this video, and we have a whole series of videos coming out that are like we made it so nostalgic. Like we refilmed it on a CRT TV just so it looks like it's the 1980s.
I love that.
But yeah, just like all these little bits and ideas about like the space and making all these jokes and keeping it clever. And then like, we made a hotline you can call into this hotline and leave us a message. And then we take those messages and overlay them over the videos. There's just like so much room to do fun things with blockchain projects. Right. And I think, we really have a surprise coming for people with the whole website build and everything that we have planned. It's like completely over the top. We've poured, together with Nifty Gateway and the All Ships team, have poured a tremendous amount of resources and effort into this. And so, no matter what happens with the Mint, I'm just like so proud of what we put together, and I can't wait to actually reveal it to the world, because I feel like people are seeing what we've done so far. They're like, "Oh, this is cool." I'm like, guys, like. You just have no idea what's about to hit.
Scratching the surface.
Yeah, it's completely unhinged in the most joyous way, and it's just fun. I mean, like art should be fun, right? Or it can be fun if you want it to be. So I think that I'd love to see artists leaning all the way in and like just doing insane things. Like I'm obviously very inspired by Die with the Most Likes. He's been a creative voice in the space, especially when it comes to like world building and building lore. So very much taking a page out of his book, and want to give him a big nod for helping me out, both with ideas and just personally. One of the cool things that I am happy to reveal is the site is like very nostalgic. It looks like a GeoCities site from like the 90s.
That's what you would expect from the guy who's selling you these cars.
Exactly.
That guy right there.
I was like, let's just build a real used car business. Like we just built the site like it's a used car site. It's hilarious. But one of the things that we did is we reached out to different artists in the space, and we had them create banner ads for the Nifty Gateway page.
Amazing.
So we have a series of artists. I'm not going to reveal who they are yet, but we have a series of artists that they have banners that they've made, like like the old internet in a way, and then those link through to their secondary collections on Nifty Gateway. So
that's cool. Nice. That's really nice. Well, that's what you do, though. In terms of connecting people and uplifting people and putting people in a place that looks like this vision come to life. My God, look at that! In your wildest dreams.
Actually, will you go to allships.com?
Yeah. Let's go there.
I want to show you some pictures from the actual events, because I think people don't understand how much fun we've been having here yet.
Allships.co. Oh, of course, my computer didn't do any of that. All right. Live show. Here we go. Did that work? There you go.
And then click Creator House on the top.
On the top, boom.
Yeah, you can scroll past all this stuff. People can read that on their own time. Keep scrolling.
Ooh.
Keep going.
I guess I didn't realize. Yeah, look at that ground level. Hey, you can get a shot of the car right there. Whoever pulls up. Every time someone parks there, you looks like you could definitely fit a car in there.
It's a full ride.
I'm not saying that you should definitely take a picture of every car that's been there ever since the day you've been there. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying. Look at this.
I'm saying get a hot rod and drive it into the for the launch party.
Keep scrolling. Go to like the event. Yeah, here we go.
Whoa, yeah, this is what we've been seeing online, man.
Yeah, this is what we've been up to.
Shout out to Ryan.
Yeah, big shout out to Chef Ryan. And big shout out to Maria, our head of production, for making this so easy.
Look at
yeah,
that.
I mean, it's a vibe. Come
on.
It's so funny. I'm like, if I was like working in banking or something,
yeah,
like this is what I would do with my money and free time anyway.
Right. like this would be the weekend.
Only working so I could just do this, right? Yeah. So this is our little. This was the Christie's after party that Benny threw, and it's just amazing. And then this artist who made this video, his name's Amir. Hey Amir on socials. So he's incredible. We're really trying to build worlds, whether it's my art projects or it's with All Ships. I'm like, we can create experiences. Like we can do the things that we imagine, and I really like want to emphasize that to people, that everyone is just winging it, like the people that are succeeding or the people you look up to are like, everyone's making it up. And like, everyone's kind of like afraid and scared and anxious. And like, it's just, the only thing separating you from them is that they're doing it. So like, just do stuff, like full send. I know it's easy to say, and I've been very lucky throughout my life to have incredible opportunities and lucky breaks.
Yeah, but even with but to that point, you can still do stuff on different levels, right? Like you don't have to throw a giant party like this to do stuff, but you can go outside and make whatever you wanted to make, or you could take photos of a thing you didn't think you could do, or you could try to just have a small gathering at a restaurant. Like you don't have to rent out a gala. You can do things that other people are doing, and because like you said, everyone's just kind of winging it.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it even has to be an in real life thing, I think, but it does. What you're tapping into is experiences. You're creating memories and experiences with collectors and artists, and I think anybody can do that in various ways, through the internet or through in real life events. But I think that's like, when we think about what we love the most in the space, it's always the experiences, in my opinion. And I think you're doing that with Drive Lab too. You're creating experiences with these trailers, with this website and launch page you're building. And I think that's why it's going to resonate well.
I'm dying at this picture. This is my favorite picture from the shoot. Oh, by the way, shout out Ovek, because Ovek took all these photos.
They're fantastic.
And Ovek is one of my favorite artists. If you guys don't know him, I mean, I know you.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying
we do
for the general audience. But Ovek is also the one who's shooting all that All Ships stuff too. He's like our. Nice. I think we're calling him our head of content.
Amazing.
He's been crushing it for us. But like, I mean, look at this photo he took. I'm like, this is so funny to me right now.
No, it's brilliant, and committing to the bit like as hard as possible is working for you guys. I can't wait. This is August 14th, if I'm not mistaken, right?
So 6 days from now.
Yeah.
That's gonna be what, Tuesday, Wednesday?
It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, and then the auctions will end on Thursday.
Oh, so now you're tapping into the question I had.
I was going to ask. Yeah, I was going to ask how many pieces. How does it work? Auctions.
I haven't said anything about it yet. I'm like, debating in my head whether I reveal all that right now.
Well, you just teased auctions, so now
it's going to be auctions. Here's what I'll say. It's going to be all auctions.
Okay.
Lap 1 holders have a special section where they only are bidding against each other, so that it'll keep those prices lower in my estimation.
I doubt it. The lap 1 holders are whales, man.
This is lap 1 holders don't really let go. If I'm
looking at a lap 1 holder,
there's a lap 1 holder right there, a Mr. Brinkvault.
Oh, Brinkman, you have such a good one, man.
Look at that.
That is such a pretty one.
Yeah.
What corner is that?
Well, let me finish what I was saying about so the reserve prices of the lap 1 auctions are very minimal for the lap 1 holders. The reserve prices for the public sale are also quite low. Looking at the market right now and understanding, sentiment and vibe, I just want to get this project out into the world. I would rather the community decide what it's worth. I'm not going to be like, oh, every car is 1 ETH. Like, I don't think that that's the right way to approach things right now. So I do need some reserve, because we have to like set some valuation on these pieces. But I think that when we reveal it, people will be like, oh, that's like not that bad. Like, I think I'll throw a bid on this one. And I want people to like, there's people that have been trying to get a drive car for forever. And like the floor price has really never gone cheap enough that to make it accessible. Even the floor price of Drip, which is an 1,000 piece collection, is I think still above 0.5, which is like, that's a lot of money to ask for. So we're doing 0.0 something, and I'll reveal that soon, but it's not going to be prohibitive at all. Like, I really want people to just be able to at least get a bid in and see where it goes. And we have the collection's 333 cars. So I think there's a lot of opportunity.
Wow.
I don't want this to be
333 different auctions at once.
Yep.
Holy moly, that's gonna be wild, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Shout out to Nifty Gateway.
I just got dizzy.
Yeah. So, but like the way we set up the page, like it's going to be like this beautiful grid of cars, and you can go and like favorite them. And like, if you have a bid on one, it will have like an indication that like the bid is with you. And so it's really like a used car auction. Like it's when they do like seize cars from
exactly.
They do the police auctions. It's
unclaimed freight.
Yeah,
that's gonna be sweet. Oh, man.
Yeah, and I just think it's gonna be
I'm
fun.
really excited for that.
I'm also gonna be live streaming like in character, like during parts of the auctions. Nice. And so like it'll just be fun, and like we're gonna have a chat room where everybody can like be chatting and talking to each other, and like lap one holders can hit the click, talk to a manager button and like speak to me, and like it's just gonna be a whole performance art piece. And so I'm really excited.
Is that going to be on the website, or where can people find that live aspect?
The live stream?
Yeah.
Oh, it'll be on Nifty Gateway.
Awesome.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we've integrated this entire system inside.
That's Nifty great.
Gateway.
I mean, that's got to be a huge benefit of Nifty's pivot into focusing on like sole creator led drops.
Yeah. Like they've said yes to every single one of my insane ideas. They're like, okay, we'll build it.
Amazing.
I knew they could, because what they did with Sam Spratt for Monument Game.
Sure.
I was like, oh, if you can do that, then like I have some crazy ideas. And they're like anything you want. I'm like, okay, let's go. So I really big shout out to the Nifty Gateway team. I love the pivot that they're making, and excited to help them relaunch as Nifty Gateway Studio. I think it's like really, this is going to be one of the first. Is it the first project for that new branding?
I mean,
it's up there for sure.
If it's
I think actually, did they?
They've done a couple small ones.
I think FDOT did.
Oh yeah, and FDOT.
Monument Game was sort of like in that mid range of like, we're not doing this all, and we're not doing this yet, but we're kind of doing both. And I think, unless I'm mistaken, I think FDOT kicked off with the bricks and
right, of course,
and the murals.
Yeah, so I love that they're taking it like way deeper with people instead of doing a bunch of smaller drops.
Yeah.
Like, I do think that the future for art on chain is like, I think the blockchain is an incredible storytelling substrate. It's like a very fertile like soil, and you can plant these crazy seeds of ideas and just like watch them flourish, and like the community all comes together and like waters the garden, and I think mycelium roots.
I think before we move on to the next thing, I do have a burning question that I'm sure other people have thought of, but just were afraid to ask. What is, if there is, a name for the character who is selling us these cars? Is it Dave?
It's funny. Like I thought about spinning off like a new identity and like really doing it, but I'm like,
is it David?
It's the working title is just flip my last name first letter and my first name first letter, so it's Cave Drugman.
Cave Drugman.
I like that. Yeah,
I'm down.
That's what we're gonna rock with.
It sounds like the kind of guy who looks like that. So nail it.
That's gonna be. I would say make sure you're well caffeinated, because I think it's going to be a long night when those start to close.
Yeah,
it's going to be a lot of extensions.
I hope so, man. I'm nervous about the auctions. I'm not going to lie. Like,
are they all ending at the exact same time? Are they staggered, or how do you?
No, they're all like, they just all go live at the same time. They all end at the same time, presumably.
I'm sure a chunk of them will end instantly, but then there's going to be these like couple dozen sought after ones that are really going to go for a while. It's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah. I just can't wait. it's literally like, it's, like, I know you guys know, like, that feeling of like that like pit in your stomach before a drop where you're like,
Yeah.
Of course,
I hope
of
people like it.
course. Can't
I
imagine.
have that, but I'm also like just so excited because no matter what, like, I'm so proud of what we've built with like all this lore and storytelling. And I mean, the best videos haven't even come out yet. Like, I can't wait. We did some stuff.
I mean,
it's
if I
gonna
wasn't
bring
excited
back-
before,
Yeah. I think it'll bring back a nostalgia for that 2021 Nifty Gateway auctions.
Dude,
It's
I hope
been a
so.
while since we've had. The last one I can think of that felt like this would have been Alpha Centauri Kids pianos thing, and that was a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we haven't really had a moment like this where people can get excited for an auction in a while.
very cool, man.
It's been so fun to step more into a creative director kind of role where
Yeah.
like I have a huge team. Like, there's at least like 12 of us that have been working on this for months and months and months alongside. And then I'm not even including the Nifty Gateway team, which has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
But just like
shout out to
kind
them.
of having like a small army of people that are the best at what they do. And just trusting them to trust my vision and trusting them to make my vision real. I just couldn't be luckier to be surrounded by the people I'm surrounded by.
Dude,
Awesome.
so excited. Like, cannot wait. Obviously we will retweet and do all the things to try to help it. But
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
It's not going to need the help. I'm telling you, it's a damn good setup, man. So
Yeah, it'll be fine.
we're rooting for you, man.
Fingers crossed.
I'll be
Yeah.
getting in there.
All right. How about
dust
how about-
off my Nifty Gateway wallet?
Yeah.
I mean, it's still there, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
Let's do it, man.
Shout out to Nifty, the one site that every sale pays royalties on.
Yeah,
I got some royalty money I can drop on this.
that's
Hell yeah.
amazing. All right, so gentlemen, how about we do a little pivot and start talking about some other art that we might have seen or collected. Do a little show and tell.
Let's do it.
Let's roll it. Here we go. All right, this is part of the show where each of us has brought two pieces of art.
Whoa, your microphone went wild all of a sudden.
Did it?
You went underwater.
Yeah. Are you back? I think he's back.
Am I back?
You're back.
So
Cool. All right. I just, I the bubble gum fell off. I just need to put that back on there. Yeah. So this is the part of the show where each of us has brought three pieces of art that we've either collected or thought was really dope and want to spotlight other artists. And so I'm the only one who's kind of seen everything by putting this together. So the other people haven't really seen anything for the first time. So we're just going to go through it one by one and talk about what we've got. Little show and tell spotlight. Let's start here with Dave. We're going to kick it off with a piece here by Connor Grasso. And this is Your Light is Blinding. And let me just, boom, bring it up.
Yeah.
There it is.
Wait 1 second. How do I share this directly to my Twitter? Do I just share the link?
Share what? The show?
Yeah, the show.
Yeah. Wait, no, don't share the link that I sent you. That's the green room one.
You can just retweet it. I don't think you can have it post directly to your Twitter. You have to. It has to be hooked into your Twitter for that.
We could have. I just didn't feel like most people don't have the time to do that, and it's like I send a special link and then it streams from your page. But
all of these will be reshared afterwards.
Yeah. Yep. We have our Art First Twitter account is going to have links to all the art that we talk about today,
Okay, cool.
and people can go and either if it's open or collect, or they'll have links to the people who we're talking about. So
Sweet. Okay.
definitely giving them love.
Love it.
Yep. We got a recap thread.
Yeah. Back to Connor. So
Yeah. This is cool.
I really like his style. I think he's really thoughtful about the way he uses photography. I also think he's just a great artist, a great guy. But I brought this piece up because he just, talk about artists like pushing through bear markets and just like really, really fighting to get their craft out there and get it collected. He just did a drop with super rare. Again, like I think a good auction reserve prices. I think they're all at 0.1. I don't know how many pieces were in that, Brinkman. You got one, right?
Yeah, we might be seeing it later this year. I think there was like 30 something, maybe 33 or something.
Yeah, I really admired the way that he executed on that drop, because like it's not easy to put out that much work at once, and to have, you know, the way that he was communicating about it. I just thought it was very, very like a great example of like what to look for in an artist when they're making sales and you know, doing their thing. And yeah, I just wanted to give him a little shout out. And I didn't collect one of those pieces, but I do have some of his one of ones.
Got the OG flex.
Yeah,
and this one's real cool. It's like the flash mode.
Yeah, I wish I had one of these. I don't have one of these, but I do have one. I think it has a hunter in it, and I just like really love the composition of it. I should have sent that one over too, but
no, this is gorgeous. Look at that. I love the glow. I love the use of the flash, right, to blow this out. And like, I don't know, it's I was looking at a lot of photography ahead of this show, and you know, not hating on people, but there's a lot of stuff that's just kind of uninspired, and seeing stuff like this really kind of like stops me in my tracks looking at it.
I think it's that snow on the ground, you know, it gives it that real burst of light with the flash.
Yeah, I mean, like, so, you know, one thing I love about photography is it literally means painting with light.
Mm-hmm.
And like, this is a good example of how much you can change the feel and vibe of a scene just by using different types of brushes, right? And so, you know, this is a scene that would typically be like a landscape, long exposure, but, you know, because he's using light in a really creative and interesting way, you get this like otherworldly, like ethereal, sci-fi kind of cyberpunky kind of look in a way that looks like a still from some, you know, incredible movie. And I just really dig photographers who do that.
Good stuff, man. Good share.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Brinkman, let's go to you, sir. Let's see. All right, here we go. This is
it doesn't load. Try refreshing. Oh, there it goes.
No, we're good. We're good.
So this is the Farewell Squiggle by Marco, which has a few layers to it. Snowfro did a mint for the second to last squiggle recently that is called I think Forever, the Everybody Squiggle or something. It might be the name of the project. But the idea being everybody could sign the transaction of it by sending a bit of ether to a wallet, and then it was returned immediately, but he was able to gather thousands of signatures that way. And then Marca, this artist, took all of that, and if you scroll up to the top, you can kind of see how it works. If you click into that and then you go to the see more, like these NFTs as themselves are generative and unique, but if you scroll up to the top and look at the info, there's like instructions on this. If you click see more over to the right.
Yeah, not seeing it. Not seeing the see more.
You were just there. You were just there.
Oh,
down.
Up, down.
You were left,
down.
up. You're so close. It's the description.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Got it.
So you can check your inscription there. And then to mint it, you enter your inscription ID on this mint function on Etherscan. And what it does is it mints a soul-bound version of that squiggle to your wallet so that you can have it forever. And it's your own unique one. And so I just thought this was a really cool way to create a secondary story to Snowfro's squiggle.
That is really cool.
That's free for anybody that sent in that ether to Snowfro Squiggle.
Oh, that's all. I'm gonna mint this today. This is amazing.
I'm gonna go back in time. I was AFK that week on a trip.
That's okay.
No, but this is
really, I don't know how many. It looks like a lot of people have done it, and so you know, since we don't all get to hold that squiggle, this allows everybody to have that squiggle.
That's really cool.
And it changes colors over time.
It does. I think it does all the same.
Wait, they move?
Maybe.
I don't know if they move.
So yeah, shout out to Marca. It's cool. It's a really cool like tribute.
That's a really brilliant idea.
Yeah.
That gives me crazy ideas for other things too.
I mean, also just in terms of like speaking of interesting ideas tied to this project in particular, the team over at White Walls was figured out that if if anybody did what you said with sending the ETH and then signing it, was able to display it in the White Walls app.
That's
And
true.
so-
Yeah, good point.
And that was a cool integration, just kind of showing like another way to show ownership or, community around an event. I thought that was really cool that they did that.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very, very cool, guys. All right. I'm going to move on to the next one. Here's something. All right.
Ooh.
This is a piece that I do not own, but it caught my eye. Just a really beautiful painting collage. The colors hit me really well. And I think, and texture, I'm a big fan of anything that, kind of like collages with texture. For some reason, it feels a little bit like I like the idea that I can feel the piece. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't really know too
It's
much.
a digital collage. Can you zoom
Yeah.
in on it? The texture is
on-
really great.
It is really great, right? Like it's on super rare, but can I zoom in on it? You tell me, super rare.
Right
I
click
can-
on the image and
No,
click
I've done
View
this,
in New tab.
I don't. I can save it. Right click save. There we
There you go.
Perfect.
Okay.
Look
Oh
at
yeah.
that.
Interesting. Yeah, they really got. So this is digital. This
Supposedly
looks so
this is-
physical. It's incredible.
I mean, perhaps maybe it scans.
Yeah.
It looks real.
It does.
Yeah.
In which case, it might be.
It might be real. But
I
then
don't know
maybe
how
they-
you would.
How you would get
That
that
text
much?
effect would be very. I think
Yeah.
it's. It
Oh, I
looks
like
like a
that
real
jack o'
collage.
lantern hidden in the orange there.
Yeah,
Whoa.
I love art like this. It's so cool.
It is, right? And it's just there's so much energy. So the artist Naturalism. I'm gonna mess that up. I
It
apologize.
says
But
digital painting, but maybe it says digital painting collage drawing.
and drawing. I mean, maybe it's a scan and worked and overworked and
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
There has to be some physicality. I'd be very impressed if there wasn't.
well, cool.
That's really cool.
I love that.
Yeah. All right, Dave, you are up again, sir. Here we go. This next piece is Bedrot
Yeah.
by Lydia
Yeah.
Petty.
Yeah, so I just wanted to give her a shout out. I actually don't really know her. I don't think I've met her, but we follow each other. I've just been seeing her work for the past year or two. I just love it. It's so nostalgic and like it's so her. Like it's so distinctly her. It's one of those. They always say like, oh, the thing you want as an artist is like if somebody sees your work, they know it's yours, right? And I just totally get that with her every time. But I also love like the way she's using 3D modeling to create these like photorealistic scenes, but with like enough of the graphics still left in it that it feels like a video game. Like
I wasn't sure that this is 3D.
yeah,
3D,
she's a
yeah.
3D. Yeah, she's a 3D artist.
Wow.
Yeah,
The
this one-
stylization on it.
No, this one's a real step forward in the realism than her previous stuff, which kind of lived in this kind of almost like plastic world.
Yeah.
But no, and she's also gotten really into like she made a physical necklace. She's really been branching out. But I'm a fan of her work.
Oh, I remember her work.
Yes.
I remember seeing all this stuff. A couple
Wait,
years
click
ago.
on the one with the bag or the melting clock. This is the first piece I think I saw from her that I was like, this is so dope.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I love this piece.
Wow.
Just everything about it. It's just really like, it makes me feel like warm and fuzzy. So also I love 1111. I'm like, I'm corny like that. So this means a lot.
That's really cool.
I love that one. Yeah. So shout out to Liv. I think she's an incredible artist and I think she deserves a lot of attention. So I hope people will check her out.
That last piece did pretty well auction wise. It got a lot of bids from awesome people. So I think she's on the come up. Definitely a great artist to spotlight.
Yep.
Good stuff, man.
Good stuff.
That's amazing.
I mean, we reserve that for really.
Yeah.
important and
you can't. You don't want to overuse the good stuff.
no, what if it would mean nothing at that
Yeah, it
point.
would make it meaningless.
All right, Brian, you are up, sir. Number 2. We'll see if this one works. Okay, because I clicked into yours the other day or this morning, I think, and there might have been a little bit of a hiccup.
You can try any of them.
I'll try one because it didn't load. It was a bit of a grifter got grifted situation.
Oh no. Site's really down. Well, that might be because, unfortunately, Vipe went under last week. But I think this would still work as a VRM if you go into a metaverse with it, but maybe the live view of the site doesn't work. But I wanted to give a shout out to TalkSam and the Vipe team and the Polygonal Mind team. They unfortunately had to close their doors a week or so ago. But they've been building metaverse-ready VRMs for years and years. And, all the Bored Apes, the 3D Bored Apes that people got, they made. They built this CCO-based grifter squatties that turned out really cool. And, I worked with them to make a Super Shiba for all the Super Shiba holders in FD Royale. I just think they're awesome. And I'm sad that unfortunately they had to close their doors because I think what they're building will be something that becomes more and more relevant over time. But that promise of the metaverse hasn't quite stuck as quickly as people thought it would. But I do think digital identities like this are inevitable. And so I just wanted to give them a shout out because, they're doing really awesome stuff.
These are really cool, man. These are really fun. And these are all playable characters, right? Or avatars.
Yeah.
Was this because Xcopy is CCO'd this, and so they're not really in collaboration, but they are, but they aren't?
It's not a true Xcopy, but it's CCO'd. And it's filled with a lot of homages and Easter eggs and stuff like that.
It's a cool way to do it, and to make something new with the CCO. Instead of just, like a paint on top or, something. That's very cool, man.
Yeah. RIP. Unfortunately, we're seeing a lot of great platforms having to
what was the name
bow
of
out. Polygonal Mind was the company. The platform was called Vipe.io. I'm sure they're going to keep making cool stuff. But I'm guessing the site's not there anymore. Yeah, nope. Sad. That's why it's down. Bummer.
Yeah.
But I think
cool. Conceptually very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we have to just accept the fact that some of the things in our space, whether it's right-click save that announced they were closing yesterday, they're kind of proof of concepts, and we can all learn from them and build on it. But unfortunately, business model-wise, not a lot's working right now.
Yeah, and I feel like there's going to be a lot of places that after that happens, there's going to be new stuff that picks up the mantle and kind of figures out how to do it a little bit better, which is a bummer for the early adopters and the people who came in first to set the ground. But that's kind of how this stuff goes. But that's a bummer. But this is really cool. It's all building, right? It's all building on stuff.
Yeah, and shout out to TalkSam. You see his name there. He's still active in the space. It's worth following him.
Very cool. I got a link to him as well later.
Nice.
All right. I'm going to go in here. Got this piece right here. Speaking of hex things, Hexagonal Prism by Kit Young.
I like that. It's satisfying.
It's very satisfying.
It's giving drip drop energy.
Yeah. Is that a nut? Like a nut and bolt nut?
It's a hexagonal prism.
Yeah.
Six-sided polygon with a base and a top in the shape of a hexagon, Brian.
There you go.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I mean, come on.
I should have read the description. No, this is cool. It's a little bit like Sarah Show with the rainbow.
Yes. It's playing off of, again, a lot of that nostalgia, a lot of the the glitchiness and
I love the water, the bubbles,
little particles. Yep, bubbles.
That's cool. Yeah, really nice layering.
And just hypnotic. Yeah.
This would look dope on one of those big screens at the All Ships house.
It would. And it's still
By the way,
available.
big shout out to Whitewall and to Bright Moments. So
Mm.
Bright Moments gave us their entire screen portfolio for the house as a loan for the summer. So
good.
Thank you, Bright Moments. You guys are amazing. I love all of you. Thank you, Seth and Christy and the whole team. And then Whitewalls, we've been using the Whitewall app to just cast from our phones. You can just literally, it's such a good, it's the first time I've used one of these apps where I'm like, oh, this is perfect. This is exactly what I need. So huge shout out to the Whitewall team for what they've built. It's actually like one of my favorite apps on my phone now. So shout out Whitewall.
Yeah, they've been killing it. They came in hard, and like, and I don't know, I've been praising them too. I think they're really great, and building a community first, and being a part of the community and supporting artists. And no, they're doing it right. And I haven't been able to use it yet because I don't have an Apple TV, but I've been just on the sidelines as a fan, just admiring what they're doing. All right, Dave, this is your third one, right? Yeah. All right. Friend of the show, former guest, Parin Hadari. We've got Echoes of Lost Light.
I
So
haven't
good.
seen this one.
Yeah, I'm obsessed.
Gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
I just like love her style and her presence and character, and she's just an amazing human being. But I also love her work, and I love that I love these animations. She's been, she's like an ambidextrous illustrator. She's always doing really cool things. But this in particular, like, really strikes me. I think it fits the crypto art medium so well, and it's just hypnotic. It's really hypnotizing, and I could just watch this on loop, and I did for many.
No,
so appealing to me. I don't know why, but
this is awesome.
Yeah.
She's
so I wanted
great.
to highlight her, give her a shout out. She's also just like a great human being.
Yeah, and it's on auction. It's available for folks if they're interested.
What's the reserve?
0.69.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. And like I said, we'll have links to all this stuff in the recap thread. But gorgeous. Yeah, love her work, and I love what she's doing also lately with the dog series that she's doing, or pets, or dogs and cats. It's just, there's so much fun to see in her style. It's really cool. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna throw it out there. Hold on your butts. Here it goes.
Yeah,
we did it.
You need to record audio for that, so it's like good stuff.
Good. I'm just, you want to say that again? I'll just go back.
Yeah, just clip it. Jamie, can you clip that?
I was doing some frame by frame animation yesterday, and seeing this just makes me appreciate it more, because I'm like, oh yeah, this is a grind. I forgot.
You can feel
in a minute
from the animation side. You can feel how long it takes to do something like this.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Brian.
Did you see my note in the chat?
Let me see your note in the chat.
Okay. We'll be quick.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
All right. We'll run through it. The next one I have, we've already prefaced Connor. This is the piece great. I got from the collection. It's an awesome series, and I just love this one, mostly because the color and the sky feels like the blue that I like to use a lot. It just felt really, really crisp and nice.
Beautiful. Very cool.
So shout out to Connor. Might be the first time we've had a double artist on the show, so that says something.
Yep. No, it's really cool, and I imagine this is just really fun composite that he put together like that, and just the landscapes are really cool.
All right.
All right.
What you got? Finale.
We got one more. Wrapping it up right here. This is an artist.
That's nice.
It's called 6-1, I believe. This person I could not find on Twitter, Kamsi Newell, but I was looking for photography that struck me and was not kind of like just sort of run of the mill, and this was a beautiful piece.
Wow. Yeah.
That's gorgeous. I love mixed medium stuff, like where it could be like photography with overpainting and little details and stuff like that. Like, I'm not sure how this was made, but it just looks like
it looks like a combination. Yeah. but really, really powerful when done right.
Really cool.
Well, this has been a ton of fun. Before we go, is there anything you're working on or might want to plug? I can't really think of anything, but like if you've got something, you can just like let us
Drive
know.
lap 2, show up, throw a bid on one of these cars. I want it to do well. I mostly want it to do well so that I can prove the point that, like, first of all, in weird markets, artists should still be selling work.
Hell yeah.
And also that this type of storytelling and the high effort marketing stuff is effective. I really want to prove that point, and I want other people to do it and steal my ideas and run with it. Like, I don't, I'm not precious about that at all. So I'm inspired by everybody that I've ever encountered, and that's all being poured into this project. And I just really, I would hope that we can sell some cars.
Let's go, man. Let's do it. I love it.
Oh, and check us out at allships.co. I'm really, really proud of what the team is building at All Ships, and just a start for us. And if you ever get a chance to come by the house, I highly recommend it.
I recommend it too.
It's fun. But thank you guys so much for having me. This was amazing. I love what you guys do. I'm very proud to call you both friends, and thanks for the constant encouragement and support, and giving me a platform to tell my story.
Of course, dude.
Absolutely.
Well, enjoy the weekend. It's only Thursday. They got something to do, man. Enjoy the next 6 days,
all right,
and then the 2 days after.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll be rooting for you, man, and we'll see everybody next time. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Oh, you got balloons.
That was weird. I think I did this.